Welcome to this video. Hello, you got Mr.
and Mrs. Smith.
And look, this is what we feel is the foundation of the royalty movement and myEcon. So follow this to the T so you can understand what everything we do is based on. Why do we want you to increase your cash flow? Why do we encourage you to earn additional income? Because it all goes into the foundation of what we're about to show you now. So really stay tuned, take notes, and we want to show you how to access the foundation of the royalty movement and myEcon. So what is the foundation? What is it that I'm talking about? It's the PCP. And the PCP is just an acronym that stands for the Personal Cashflow Plan. Personal Cashflow Plan, because this is personal. It's all about you, not about us. All about you hitting your goals in a strategic manner, step by step by step. So what I'm doing now is going to log in and show you exactly where to access the PCP inside your own back office. So what you'll do is go to your website. Mine is marcussmith.myecon.net. Whatever you created as your username, you put it in the top. You go ahead and hit log in, type in your login information, click, and then you'll be logged in automatically. And the moment you're logged in, it'll take you to the Business Management Center. This is the hub, the first spot you'll see after you log in. And from here, you go directly to the Document Center. And in the Document Center, there's a lot of documents, and we won't go over any of those things. We just want to connect you to exactly where it's at. So what you want to do is click on the training manual. Once you click on the training manual, you scroll down to the training manual, strategy 5, investing, because the PCP is based on you building wealth, and investing is all about building wealth. So when you click on this, it's going to actually give you a long list of things that are entailed in the investment aspect, but we already have it pulled up. We just wanted you to know how to access it. So all I did was go to the login site, Document Center, clicked on the training manual, and when you click on the strategy 5, which is investing, it'll pull up a document that leads you to the PCP, which is this document right here, and it's 8 steps. And the Queen is going to break it down. The asset accumulation strategy, also known as the PCP, Personal Cash Flow Plan.
Okay, perfect. So let's dive straight in, you guys. Let's go to step number 1. Acquire as much cash flow as possible each month. This means business income, lowering your taxes, the W-4 adjustment, lowering your expenses, and eliminated debt. It says apply the extra cash flow to the steps in this system. So you guys, listen to what I'm saying. Step number 1 in myEcon is to acquire as much cash flow as possible. We teach you how to do the W-4, how to correct your tax withholdings. But guess what? If your W-4 was already correct, there's some other avenues that you may need to look at. What about lowering your expenses? What about lowering your debt? Or you may just need more income. So we also have a business income opportunity embedded into myEcon to help you to get to where you want to be financially, okay? Let's go into step number 2. Step number 2 says, set up a beginner's emergency fund. You need $3,000 in the fund. You may want to put the money into a money market account or a municipal bond fund instead of a regular checking account or savings account. Also, you should keep the emergency fund separate from your regular checking account. If necessary, make periodic deposits until you get to $3,000 and then stop. If you already have $3,000, move it to your emergency fund account, separate from your other funds. Do not go to step number 3 until you've completed step number 2. So you guys, if you listen to everything that it just said, this is actually a checklist. After you've accumulated as much cash flow as possible, step number 1, you want to set up your emergency fund, which is a minimum of $3,000. If you do not have $3,000, do not move to step number 3. Now, the $3,000 can come from several different places, you guys. The W-4, lowering your expenses, eliminating your debt, or making more money. This is what you got to understand. This is the true foundation of myEcon. So these are the steps that everybody should be following. When you see a difference in that W-4, you don't just take the money and instantly start paying off your debt. You want to start building that emergency fund of $3,000. It even tells you not to put it into a regular account. Look into the municipal bonds. Look into the money market accounts so that you can put your money there instead of just a regular bank account. Once you have the $3,000, check it off. Now you can go to step number 3. Step number 3 says, begin investing in a retirement account of some kind. A 401k, 403b, IRA, Roth IRA, simple, IRA, a SEP IRA, annuity. If you can, put in the maximum amount on a monthly basis, but at least 5% of your income. Do not go to step number 4 until you've completed step number 3. So if you have a 401k that's supplied by your job, now that you have your $3,000 emergency fund, now it would be wise for you to put some money into your 401k. When it tells you to put the maximum amount in on a monthly basis, this is the example that I like to use. When I was working a job, the company that I worked for matched 6%. So I'm only going to put in the max of 6% every month. Okay, I'm not going to do more than that. I'm going to do the amount that they match. The same thing with the IRAs and the 403bs. Some of them have a maximum that you can put in, like you may not be able to go over $3,500 a month or something like that. Whatever the number is that once you open up these accounts. But you want to put the maximum amount in. If you can't do the maximum yet, do at least 5% of your income. Once you open up your investment account, now you can move to step number 4. Now, somebody's probably wondering, okay, why do I need $3,000 before I open up my investment account? Well, I want you to think about this. Let's say you skipped a step. Let's say you started acquiring as much cash flow as possible, you adjusted your W-4 and all of that good stuff, and instead of setting up your emergency fund, you went straight to investing. What are you going to do if you have an emergency? And I really want you to think about that. If you walk outside and you have a flat tire, but you do not have the $3,000 emergency fund, what are you going to do? Well, you're either going to pull that money right back out of your investment account, or you're going to go deeper into debt. You're going to swipe a credit card or something of that nature, you guys, when these are the steps to do it the right way. See, when you set up that beginner's emergency fund, things are going to happen while you're setting up that fund. You might be $1,000 in, and then bam, you have a flat tire. Or bam, you get sick and have to miss a couple of days of work. But guess what? You're not stressing about it because you had already began your emergency fund. Okay? So let's move on. You have your emergency fund. You open up your investment account. Step number 4 says take the rest of your available cash flow after living expenses and set up the myEcon debt elimination plan. Pay off all of your consumer debt, not including your mortgage, and do not go to step number 5 until you've completed step number 4. See, these steps, you guys, you may be on these steps for some time. You may be on step number 2, getting that emergency fund together for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, even a year. But you don't quit myEcon because you need this game plan. This is a clear, concrete game plan to get you where you want to be financially. Yeah, you might backslide here and there, but you got to stick to the plan. This is your plan. If you don't have a plan, how are you going to get to where you're trying to get? You won't. Okay, so you got to stick to this and you got to follow the plan. Step number 4 is a big one. It's telling you to pay off all of your consumer debt. That may take you a while. You may be on step number 4 for some years. But again, at least you have a plan. And because the income opportunity is built in, you can do this fast or you can do this slow. I tell people, you can start knocking out these steps as fast as you want. It's all going to depend on your grind. How much additional income can you bring in? You know, you need that cash flow to get to where you want to be. Okay? After you've paid off everything, student loans, credit cards, everything but your mortgage, then you want to go to step number 5. Step number 5 says, if you are not maxing out your retirement investments, raise your payments to the max. Do not go to step number 6 until you've completed step number 5. And you notice that it says that at the end of every step. Do not move on, you guys. You want to do this the right way. So step number 5 is explaining kind of what I did explain when you open up that investment account. If you were unable to max out your retirement, now you can raise those payments. So if you were just doing the 5%, now if your company is matching 6, go ahead and put in 6. If there's a max that you could put in of $3,000 a month, go ahead and raise it to the max because you pay off all of your consumer debt. Now you have the additional cash flow to really start preparing for your future, okay? Step number 6 says, take all of your available monthly cash flow and build a full emergency fund. This fund should be built 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. We're going to scratch out that 3. 6 months worth of living expenses. Building the emergency fund to 6 months living expenses should happen fairly quickly because you have the extra cash flow acquired from lowering your taxes, adjusting your W-4, knocking out all of that debt outside of your mortgage, lowering your expenses, okay, and the business income. All of those are ways to increase your cash flow. Now you can build a full emergency fund. Now, why do you need 6 months worth of living expenses? That's a lot, right? Well, I want you to think about this. You never know what life is going to throw your way. The mini emergency fund, the $3,000, it covers many emergencies. Flat tires, broken window, you missed a day of work, you know, you have a minor repair at the house or a minor repair on your car, you got $3,000, no big deal. But 6 months worth of living expenses, you guys, that is life really hitting you. That's you or a loved one being diagnosed with a severe illness. That could be, you know, you having kids prematurely like we did. We had twins, and I didn't go full time. I had them at 6.5 months. They had to spend 2.5 months in emergency, in ICU. So I want you to think about this. If something similar was to happen, I mean a direct blow to the gut that knocks you off of your feet for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, how will you sustain financially? This is why you want to be prepared. We've seen it all, you guys. We've seen people be diagnosed with things where they have to immediately stop working and go into getting some type of chemo. We've seen it all. We've seen the loss of loved ones, and it was just a direct hit. You couldn't focus. You couldn't do anything. You were just really thrown off for months. No work. You know, we've seen it all. You want to make sure that the last thing to stress you out or make your situation worse is money. The least you can do is have money in place. Because we were following these steps, you guys, we had made it to step number 7 when we had our kids unexpectedly at 6.5 months. But guess what? Financially, it was like, okay, they have to spend 2.5 months in the hospital. Looks like I'm not going back to work. We were straight financially because we were following this plan. You have to be proactive. While everything is going okay for you, be proactive, because one of the things that you cannot control is what life can throw at you. That's beyond your control. An illness, a loss of a loved one, losing your home, that is all beyond your control. But again, you want to make sure that finances is the last thing to stress you out even more. Most people stress out and become even more ill because of money. Don't let that happen. Then it says, do not go to step number 7 until you've completed step number 6. Until you have that 6 months worth of living expenses, I need you to hold tight. Now, step number 7, there's 2 parts. 7A says, if you are renting, buy a home and proceed to 7B. If you are buying a home, go to 7B. 7B says, take all of your available cash flow and pay off your mortgage. Do not go to step number 8 until you've completed step number 7. Now, I want y'all to think about this. What company do you know that's putting you in a position to buy a home, to start investing, to build a healthy emergency fund and retirement, to build 6 months worth of living expenses, and the ultimate, pay off your mortgage? We're positioning you to buy a home. If you know anything about buying a home, you guys, you need money. There's a lot of hidden costs that people don't tell you about. You have your closing costs. You have appraisals. You have inspections. You have all of these things. Well, by the time you make it to 7A, guess what? You got a hefty amount of money stashed to the side. You have your $3,000 mini emergency fund. You have 6 months worth of living expenses. You're in the position to buy a home if you don't know. Then we're teaching you to pay off your mortgage. Why? Because you're already debt free. All of your consumer debt has been paid up, so you can double and triple up on those mortgage payments and pay off your home in little to no time. It wouldn't take you 30 years to pay off your home if you were following this plan. It wouldn't take you 15 years to pay off your home if you were following this plan. And we know because there's plenty of testimonies explaining how they were able to pay off their home using this plan. Then we got step number 8. Step number 8 says, start building an investment portfolio over and above your retirement account. You have endless options: stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, ETF, annuities. You should have extra cash, plenty of extra cash, by the time you get to this step because you've paid off your home, guys. Also, your financial knowledge along the way should have increased. So by the time you make it to step number 8, guys, you can ball out on assets. Now you can get into that real estate. You can really go in on the stock market. You can really set up the perfect retirement for yourself. Set up some things for your family. You have endless options, you guys, and your knowledge is through the roof.
So the question becomes, what step are you in? Because everybody is in a different place. Everybody is in a different step. But 95+% of people who join are in step 1 and 2, meaning they are in a place where they need to acquire as much cash flow as possible, whether that's minimizing expenses, whether that's generating more income via myEcon or other means to create more income to give you more cash flow, whether that's the W-4 correction. Whatever it is, most people are in this place, and they have not accumulated a $3,000 emergency fund just yet. If that's you, no problem, but we need you to let us know, or whomever introduced you to this platform know, look, I'm in step 1 of the PCP. So now we know exactly where you are and exactly what direction to point you in. But also keep this in mind. Neither of these steps have a time step on it, which means that it can happen as fast or as slow as you would like it to happen. The sooner the better. Success loves speed. So if you realize that you minimize your expenses to the best of your ability, if you realize your W-4 correction brought you $300, but it still may take you some time to get to the $3,000 emergency fund, and you're left with nothing else to sell or nothing else to lower, whether it's expenses or taxes, strongly consider building a business. Strongly consider earning money using the myEcon franchise model and plugging people into the membership so they too can get on this game plan towards personal cash flow success or personal financial success. Strongly consider that, because you can create some great supplemental income or some full-time income based on what speed you plan to operate at. So really take that and run with it, because so many times people only get a certain amount from their W-4, or they only lower their expenses by a certain amount, but they sleep on the fact that there are no limits to how much income that you can earn. We encourage you to use our vehicle, but if you choose to make money in other ways, make sure you plug it into some form of these steps, because now you're moving in unison and you have a mission of how and why you're doing what you do. You see, everything we do is systematic and strategic. Why do we want you to minimize your expenses and taxes and accumulate as much cash flow? Well, because it gets you moving on towards that next step. And now once you check that step off the list, you move to the very next step. So we do this strategically. It's a reason why one thing comes before the other, and a reason why certain things come after another. Because I know you may think, well, I should be doing this before I do this. I promise you, it's science behind why it's set up the way it's set up. Now, of course, you're an adult and you can move how you choose to move, but it's strategically in place for you to move in this order. Now, like she stated, this is a reason for you to stay plugged into the myEcon membership long term, because once you get to certain steps, yes, you may print this out, which we encourage you to do. Yes, you may have this in front of you, and you may feel as though you no longer need assistance, or you no longer need myEcon, or you no longer need a network. But once you move further in these steps, there are always things that you may have questions on, or people that you need to plug into, and people who can shorten your learning curve that we can plug you into, or if it's our exact experience, we can direct you on the right path, so that when you're in that step, you execute it efficiently, not just winging it. So understand the power and the network that comes along with this platform, and understand that this is the foundation. And once you plug into this foundation, now you can head to any destination that you're aiming towards as it relates to your finances. So get control of your cash flow, and if your cash flow happens to hit a roadblock, strongly get on the path, or consider getting on the path to earning additional income, because not only does it help you create more cash flow, it also lowers your tax liability each and every year. So this is the foundation. Everything we do, every move we make will be based on these steps, so we can know exactly where you are. Be sure to let us know. Look, I'm in step 1. I'm in step 2. All right, I'm in step 3. Keep us posted on that, and let us know immediately upon seeing this video what step you're in, or whoever introduced you to the platform, let them know what step you're in, so we're in a better position to guide you, because we want you executing and checking these things off the list. Nothing feels better than empowering someone else to better position themselves as well as their family to break the generational curse of poverty, or lack of investments, or lack of assets, so we can have full, strong finances and really do amazing things going forward.
Yeah, I highly encourage you to print this off several times. Put one on your fridge at home. Put one in your bedroom. Put one in your car. Put one on your desk at work. And put little check boxes next to each and every step, so that you can stay focused on your goals. If you're married, get your spouse on board so that you guys have a clear-cut plan on how you're going to move, okay? I highly encourage you guys. You got this. If you're looking at your situation and you're like, I just need more money, do not sleep on the business opportunity, because it can definitely help you to do these steps a lot faster, opposed to you just working overtime on your job, or even getting another job. Okay? So that's all I got. You got anything else?
That's all I got. That's all we got. Look, take advantage. This is the foundation. We look forward to you exiting every step off the list, and let's build wealth together. You see, building wealth is a team sport. Don't try to do it all by yourself. It's a team sport. So let's do it together. Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
signing out.
Out.